Hi everybody, Dennis with Mountain Vapor here. I wanted to make a few announcements about some things we got going on over at Mountain Vapor. First of all, we've developed a new liquid. We call it Peppernut. Now what this is a mixture between USA Mix and peppermint. How that came to be was I was vaping on some of our peppermint one night. Needed to refill my clearomizer. I thought I was putting more peppermint into the clearomizer, but it turned out that's not what it was. It was USA Mix. So I had USA Mix and peppermint combined together in my clearomizer, and I actually liked it. I thought it tasted really good. So we sat down and came up with a new recipe specifically for that. Again, Peppernut, combination of USA Mix and peppermint. I'll tell you, this thing is it's got a great flavor. I really think you'll like that. And that is in fact what I am vaping in this. I've got an Echo battery with a brand new type of clearomizer on here. It's simply a little 808 threading clearomizer. And this thing is great. Now, the only downfall about this is it only holds a little over a milliliter of liquid, so that can be a problem for some people. But it vapes great and the flavor is excellent. It's a bottom feeder. And it just really works well. I've got a 650 Echo on here. And I happen to be vaping some Peppernut in here, in fact. That is a really good flavor. Now you can also get this with a 510 thread. So you can use that on your Ego battery as well. Now we got several different colors. As you can see, we got purple, we got green. There's also a clear color, as well as a pink. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at these clearomizers in detail, then we'll come back and I want to tell you about a fix for the E1 and E2 clearomizers. I know a lot of people have been having problems with those things leaking, so a customer of ours came into the store on Friday and he told me what he was doing to get him to stop doing that, and he says ever since then he's had absolutely no problems. I've actually tried it. It works. And so after I show you the clearomizers in detail, we'll come back and I'll tell you all about that. So here we have our clearomizers in all four colors: purple, clear, green, and pink. These particular ones have an 808 thread. So that's going to fit on your Echo battery. That's going to fit on a V2. It works great on a V2. As I mentioned earlier, I also have one here that has a 510 thread. So that's going to work on your Ego batteries. So if you bought an E1 kit from us, the batteries that came with that kit, this will fit right on there. Now to fill it, all you're going to do here is you're going to unscrew the top. Once you have that removed, take your liquid, simply pour it in here. Fill it all the way up. Once it's filled, just put your top back on. It just screws right back in place. Attach it to your battery, you're good to go. Now this particular clearomizer, it's a bottom feeder, so the wick and coil are down here. You see you've got holes here to get the liquid inside there, as opposed to like the E1, which is a top feeder. You see the wicks, they come down, but this one will be fed through the bottom here. Vape's great flavor. The only drawback to this, I think, is the fact that it doesn't hold very much liquid. Holds just over 1 milliliter of liquid. You can go through that pretty quick, but if you can deal with that, I think this one's definitely a winner, so I highly recommend this. Okay, so there you have the new clearomizers in detail. Like I said again, they're really good. I recommend you pick one up. Alright, so let's move ahead here and talk about the leaky E1 and E2 clearomizers. I know for a lot of people that's been a problem. I have been in contact with the manufacturer. They tell me they fixed the problem. We got another batch coming in. I don't know. We'll see. I've heard those sort of things before, and a lot of times they never seem to get fixed. But this technique actually works. I had a customer come into the store on Friday. He was telling me about it. And so I gave it a try, and sure enough, it definitely seems to work. So you're either going to take an E1-v clearomizer or an E2. I don't have an E1 on me, but I do have an E2 here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to unscrew the bottom, pull that out. Okay, there's our wick. Now you're not going to take the wick off, but you're just going to kind of loosen it. Okay, don't take it all the way off, just sort of loosen the wick. And then go turn your oven on and set it to 200 degrees. Now let it fully heat up. Once your oven is heated up, just place that on a some sort of a pan and put that into your oven and let it sit in there for 10 minutes, no longer. Now after you do that, tighten it down right away. Put it back on your tank. Tighten it down. And now that thing's not going to leak anymore. What happens is the gaskets that are in this thing is what the problem is, the seals. They're kind of real cheapy seals. So if you put them in the oven for a little bit, it seems to condition them or make them a little soft so that when you actually tighten it down and it cools, it expands, doing a much better job of sealing everything off. So again, take the bottom out, loosen it, don't take the wick all the way off, just loosen it, stick it in an oven that's preheated to 200 degrees, leave it sit there for 10 minutes, take it out immediately, put it all back together again, and voila, no more leaky tanks. One final thing, I wanted to let everybody know we can no longer accept American Express. We were contacted by their attorneys. The attorneys for American Express actually had contacted us and said we were violating our agreement with them because we were selling tobacco products. We tried to explain to them that we're not selling tobacco products, these are electronic cigarettes, something entirely different. But they came back at us stating that the FDA was going to regulate these as tobacco products. So from their point of view, American Express's point of view, these are tobacco products. Now, the liquids I could understand, nicotine. But battery, I don't see how that's a tobacco product. An atomizer, clearomizer, I don't see how any of those, a battery charger, those are certainly not tobacco products. So anyways, basically we can no longer accept American Express, so that's now off the website, but of course we still can do Visa and MasterCard, Discovery, but it does make one wonder if they too are going to do that. Now if we were doing in-store sales only, we could continue taking American Express, because you can sell tobacco products in store, you just can't sell tobacco products online, is what they were saying. So it really makes you wonder how much longer online sales are going to continue. I think if there's going to be some type of FDA regulation, I foresee the banning of internet sales, at which point you're going to have to rely on the brick and mortar convenience stores or however else that's going to work. Anyways, that's all for now. Oh, by the way, if you go into our store online, you can buy peppermint at no charge. We're giving away 5 milliliter size bottles. So if you want to try some peppermint, just go online, just go right in there and purchase some, and you won't be charged for a 5 milliliter bottle. That's all for now. We'll talk to everybody sometime soon.